Hello. Today I was just gonna make a quick one on a certain topic, a very simple topic. It's reading your data sheets carefully. Just got a book here, some notes I've took down. I'm speaking from experience that it seems such an obvious thing to read the data sheet so carefully. It's literally the Bible of that component you're choosing. Everyone refers to it, everyone knows it, and I'll make separate videos on how to use it and everything, but read them carefully, take time with it to save you time in your future designs and whatnot. This is feel this for everyone, and you're working on the design for so long and just like, oh, I just want to get it over and done with, this goes here, this goes here, I'll leave it as it is. You're like, yeah, it'll work, don't worry about it. And I guess it's a poor trait on my part, so I don't wish for any of you to have that negative trait. Let's take for example these two microcontrollers. Very similar part numbers, STM32WB15CC, STM32WB10CC. I had this one in my design, so I had this microcontroller here. As you notice here, it has a slightly different power supply scheme where it uses an inductor here and in conjugation with the capacitor. Now, if we go over here, this one doesn't. So, and also this part here, there's also an error here. I was only looking at these. I never read it fully, so I was actually missing a ground. And you might think, oh, but it says VDD, VSS. Yes, it didn't compute in my head. I misinterpreted as something else. And, I'm still learning. But I would like to share this information no matter how obvious it seems, because it saves you so much time. So I got to this supply scheme here, and I eventually found out, I got, oh, I need to make these changes. And you know what? It just adds like an extra hour or two on top of the other changes. That's wasted time and effort. If you did the job the first time round, it'll be all right. But of course, there's always changes, and I'm just trying to minimize your changes. So if we go around to here, notice there's an inductor here. So the value of L1 depends upon the frequency as indicated in table 5. Go to table 5. And so here, once again, look at table 5. Ah, yes, okay. If I'm using 4 megahertz, I'll put the 10 microhenry inductor. Okay, put the 10 microhenry in, and did not even read this part right here, very in the note. An extra 10 nanohenry inductor in series with L1 is needed to improve the receiver performance. It's right in front of me, and I didn't put. And you think it's a small thing, but these small things add up to a big review, and the changes, it seems so, well, to me personally, it seems so amateurish to not read these things. These things become more critical, especially when you're sizing components and things like that. So certain components, like let's say like a buck regulator, and none of the parameters given in the datasheet actually match what your desired scenario or desired application, and they've asked you to size the components up themselves, and they give you a lot of equations and such. So I'll put up an example here on screen. This is a boost converter that I'm using in the Tempe maker thing project I'm still working on, and as you can see here for my side, I was able to use the recommended values here in this typical application circuit, which was fine. But when I had to think of like, oh, maybe I had to size the components myself and whatever, and it would be so easy just to miss something here or not even follow the correct step that could potentially really affect your design and not get the desired outputs, which caused you a lot of work to do again. So that's what I wanted to make clear, which is just really take your time when doing these type of things. There's no rush. I mean, there is a rush when you're on a deadline, but it's definitely not worth the rush of going through the whole entire design iteration process and the reviews and whatnot, because it's not only your time, you're taking up everyone else's time. I feel like I know it's all for the glory and the sake of the product and getting the thing through the next stage and next step, but it's still time, and time is the most valuable resource of it all. You want to use that time effectively. So it's easy to miss key parameters if you're not careful. I just really wanted to get that out there, to take your time in the datasheet, be careful with it, and it will make your designs a whole lot better, and as well the process a lot more smoother.